And in all honesty, I was like, I really I don't want to go do this again the next 2 days. Like, I can't hit a golf ball. And it was sneaking down to like, cause I played in the morning on Friday and it was sneaking down. It looked like I was going to make the cut and I was like, please don't, cause I will shoot 82 tomorrow.
Fore-play, presented by Barstool Sports. We got myself, Frankie, and Trent. We got Mr. Bushman, Gravy Train on the ones and twos, and we've got Austin Eckroat, your most recent PGA Tour winner, or a little bit of a streak with the most recent PGA Tour winners. We got Austin's on the show. He'll be for the second half, about 45 minutes with them. Oklahoma guy, won twice on tour this year. Awesome guest. He's a really, really cool dude. He was in a fraternity at Oklahoma State. Go Pokes. We talk all about him playing in the Masters last year for the first time, what he's going to do differently this year, his game coming around. We talk about Call of Duty, going to Cabo or winning in Cabo, favorite courses, not favorite, all kinds of good stuff. So he was a fantastic guest, and I think that was the first time really interacting with the young man.
Yeah, I think people are going to really like it. I think they're going to enjoy it. I think they're going to be a fan of Austin. You're going to want to say Austin Eckler. Just right off the top of your head, you're going to want to say Austin Eckler. It's something that's going to come natural to you. And then you're going to have to remind yourself it's Austin Eckroat. And that Eckroat kind of hits you like a ton of bricks because Eckler kind of just rolls. And then Eckroat's like, whoa, did you mean Eckler? But yeah, great guy. Good looking dude. Nice set of teeth, the whole deal. Yeah. He's a really good dude.
Really nice. Good interview.
So yeah, great interview. He was awesome. And we very much appreciate him taking the time, hopping on with us. So stick around for that for the second half of the show. Caitlin Clark, I saw she's out there. Trent, your girl, she's playing in the Annika Pro-Am. She's with Nelly Court, a bunch of clips around there. Some good stuff. And then inevitably, I saw one where, she nearly killed some innocent civilians with one of her tee shots.
I actually sent this clip to Alex Bush, so if he wants to pull it up right now, we can watch it. But the reason I am showing it is not to make fun of her, but it's because I did something similar at the Good event just 2 weeks ago where I snipe hooked one left and almost killed a woman. And that's the thing. And Caitlin Clark actually did something similar to what I did, where before the event, I said, I don't want to hurt anybody. So just everybody watch out there. I'm not a professional golfer. Caitlin Clark is not a professional golfer. She said she's a 16 handicap, which is exactly what I am. So you got to just, everybody who's around, I know they want to be around Caitlin Clark. I get it. She's a super duper star, one of the biggest stars in sports right now. But you got to watch out. And, we're going to watch this clip right now. It gets a little bit dicey, just like it did for me during the Good event. So let's roll this, Alex. Look how many people are down the sides.
Trent's was really close.
Oh, man. There's just a lot of people down the sides. And that's what makes you nervous.
This goes over the meat of it, by the way.
Yeah.
That went over the thick of it, man.
And again,
she just reloads, which is awesome.
Yeah, she reload. I didn't do that. We were playing a scramble. I got the hell out of there because I felt like I was going to cry, but I got out of there. And then she hits a good one. So, and the other clips that are coming out, she's putting great. She's hitting great shots on the greens. It's just every once in a while you're going to, she's a 16 handicap. That's going to happen. Okay.
That's good. She ends up, you can't even see the next one. But yeah, no, she almost killed that person. But yeah, it's tough. These pro-ams are not for the faint of heart. They really are not, you're lining the fairways as if these people are professional golfers. And we've said it time and time again. It's on you. Like, why are you standing there? At some point you should have some doubt in your brain being like, is this person going to hit the ball right in our face? Because when an amateur golfer goes out and does that all the time, they hit it to the left and to the right. It's like, why 100%. Am I standing here?
I can't remember if I was with which one of you I was with. Remember the Liberty National Pro-Am that day? And it was a shooting gallery out there. At one point, I think I was with Frankie. At one point, we walked out because they had set us up at the Northern Trust, and we were up in the hospitality on whatever it was, Wednesday.
We interviewed Scotty Scheffler and
Wyndham Clark.
Wyndham
Clark that day. So we were set up in the hospitality. We walked out of the back part of the hospitality on like the second or third floor, and people were teeing off on this par four. And I mean, someone hit a low missile left that it would have killed one of us if it hit us in the head. And that shit was just happening all day long because you've got 100 amateurs out there who suck at golf
all day long.
Also, just further proof of how hard golf is. Caitlin Clark is one of the greatest athletes on planet Earth, and put her on a golf course, you don't know what's going to happen.
I just texted this one to Bush. He could pull it up. I think you guys have probably seen this, but this is the most iconic.
yeah.
This one is the most iconic one of all time.
Woman shanks ball into the crowd twice. Bang.
Hold on. When she does it again, you got to listen because somebody says something very funny if I remember.
Make her cut it out! Somebody make her stop!
Get that club out of that woman's hand.
It's a woman in a pro-am just absolutely hitting laser beams.
So we ask you all to move
We have first aid on the way.
back over here, please.
Just an absolute problem out there.
Somebody make her cut it out. Make her cut it. But it is. It's you know.
Stop
it's
swinging. Please. Begging
You
for
gotta have
mercy.
a little bit of a little bit of audience knowledge. You just need to know what you're risking out there, because if you show up to a professional event, you think you're viewing a professional event.
It's such a funny video. Like, she is hitting absolute missile pulls. Like, not even close. She's hitting behind her. Like, those are so bad. And they are hitting people with crazy velocity. Oh my God.
Yeah. So credit to Caitlin. I think overall she did pretty well, but you're going to hit some bad shots out there. People are lying to the fairways, and it is, it is what it is.
Oh God, that's so good.
The Chevy Equinox EV helps you get the distance you're looking for with an available EPA estimated 319 miles of range on a full charge. Actual range may vary based on several factors. I feel like 319 miles is a lot of miles, Trent.
That is a lot of miles. And we talk a good amount on this show about advancement, progression, the future. Mm-hmm. Where are we going? We know where we're going with vehicles, and we're going in the EV direction. And nobody does that better than our friends at Chevrolet. They've got the Equinox EV that we've seen. It's beautiful. It's got all the things that Riggs just listed. So if you're looking for a vehicle, or you think you might want a vehicle in the future, which you're probably going to need one, go to Chevy.com, check these out, and I promise you, you are going to find something you like.
The Equinox EV accommodates with comfortable seating for up to 5 people, offers a roomy, no compromises interior, ample cargo room, and convenient storage solutions. They've also got on the Equinox EV, or in the Equinox EV from Chevy, the best in class 17.7-inch diagonal standard touchscreen display. The 2025 Equinox EV LT has a starting price around $34,995. Your pricing may vary. Dealers, of course, set the final price. Head on over to Chevy.com/Equinox EV to check out product info, lease offers, and amazing deals. That is Chevy.com/Equinox EV. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Shout out to Mesa Country Club. I got to give a big shout out to Mesa Country Club. You guys played there with Joel Damon when we did our little match. I think we thought it might have been a phantom brother Dan Damon that he might have, because he just didn't have his best stuff that day. I think we beat him on like the 16th hole. But Mesa, I'm a member out there. I play out there, quite a bit. They did a full 9-month shutdown restoration of the entire golf course. They rerouted 3 or 4 holes. And they redid the grill. I got out there yesterday for the first time, and it's just awesome. So I know it takes balls, takes a whole effort to get out there and shut the place down for almost a full year, especially here where you can play golf all year round. It's not easy for the members. There's an assessment. It takes a bold plan, and man, it is awesome. I was out there with Alistair yesterday, a couple other buddies. They redid all of the bunkers. Like I said, the first hole, they changed it from a par 5 to a par 4. Second hole, they completely changed this par 3. Used to come back towards the clubhouse. Now it just goes all the way down towards the road. And then the 14th hole used to be like a 230-yard par 3, and they made it like a 330-yard par 4 now. It kind of goes all the way up to the edge of the property. It's really cool bunkering. It used to be just like boring circular kind of bunkers, and they remade them almost. They look like Alistair McKenzie-esque, sort of like finger bunkers, if you call it that, where they sort of like drape across the landscape and they kind of carve in and out. And it's just in phenomenal shape. So big credit to that place. Just a little shout out to them. First time checking it out since they reopened on November 1st. And it's absolutely fantastic. So I love seeing
that place is great.
It's awesome. It's
one
sort
of those places. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Arizona golf because I lose 50 golf balls around. That place doesn't feel like Arizona golf.
It's tree lined, right? Like I didn't play. I think I shot like an 83 yesterday from the back tees, playing 7,000 yards. Didn't play particularly well. Didn't lose a golf ball the whole time. I don't think anybody else in the group lost a golf ball the whole time. There's really not like much water. There's basically no desert or out of bounds unless you hit a shockingly bad shot, hits the trees, comes down. You have kind of creative shots. A lot of the North Carolina or even like, New England type golf that are tree lined. It feels that way. And it is sort of like it's more of a blue collar kind of club around Arizona. Arizona could be it has a little hint of Miami in it. It could be a little flashy at times in Arizona, as people know. And that's just sort of that's why Joel's a member there. I mean, that sums it up perfectly. Of all the places Joel Damon could be a member, he's like, nope, Mesa Country Club. So yeah, awesome. Shout out to Mesa, and it's in great spots. So if anybody gets a chance to play it, you're in the Arizona area, or somebody invites you out, I would highly, highly recommend it because it looks and it is fantastic right now. Absolutely fantastic.
I went out to Colonial Springs out here on Long Island yesterday. It was blowing like 35, 40 miles an hour at times. It was actually pretty nice. It was only it was like 58, 60 degrees. So it was doable. But when the wind comes out, it really hits you. But I got there pretty early. I was walking around the clubhouse. I saw our guy, Dan and Tom. I was just talking with them for a good half hour in the pros little room there. They've got a lot of cool plans. I know for Colonial, like it sounds like each winter they like attack a new golf hole. They did it last year on Lake 7, which was fun. Trent, I know you know a lot about that because that's where we did a lot of the breaking 90s and breaking 100s. And they have a couple more that they're going to do. I know Gene, the super out there, really likes to just like dig his teeth into the winter and have a new golf course to come back to, a new amenity out on the golf course to come back to, which I think is really awesome for members that get to go out there and you see a new part of the golf course. Maybe they restore something or they finish something that the architect wanted to do. So I think people can look forward to that. But it was so funny. I was talking with these guys and I'm looking at them. I'm waiting for my dad. I invited my dad out. He's like, we got to start playing 9 holes. Like after I get out of the restaurant, he's like, I'll go do my stuff. I'll get the deliveries ready. I'll do the whole deal. And then I'll just meet you for 9 holes, even hit the range. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's meet tomorrow. So I said, we'll meet you like 1:00. So I'm standing there talking to Dan and I'm looking out the window, waiting for my dad. I'm like, where is this guy? Like, it's like 12:50, still not there. And all of a sudden I see this guy walking up and he's got like a Barstool. He's got the Barstool like mask that we were all wearing during like COVID, like the big like ski mask thing around his neck. He's got a Barstool golf hat on. He's got a Borrelli's windbreaker with a Barstool golf hoodie wrapped around his neck like a prep school guy. Like I've never seen him like do that in my entire life. He's got his pants on, he's got his G-forces on, and he's holding his golf bag in one hand, and then he had a pizza delivery bag in the other hand, and he's walking up to the carts. And I'm like, what? I'm like, hold on, Dan. What? I got to go out. I'm like, what is this guy doing? So I open the door. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? He's like, what? He's like, I brought pizzas for the staff. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He had 3 hot piping right out of the oven pizzas. He walks in, brings pizzas. He's throwing pizza boxes to everyone. They're like, this is incredible. They couldn't believe that Mr. Borrelli brought pizza. And then in the cart, in this little bag, I'm like, what's that? He's like, oh, I brought you your favorite panini. He made me a grilled chicken, mozzarella, and red pepper panini. I'm sitting there eating a panini in the golf cart. I'm like, Dad, this is incredible. Like, what is happening right now? So that was, I had to give a big shout out to him.
What a
he
guy.
just was, what an incredible, appearance, or, walking up to a golf course with pizzas in your hand like that, just making a statement. It was cool.
The best.
It was cool.
It's really the best. I love that.
Yeah. It was great.
Hell yeah. I got a few pieces of news that I pulled that, I thought might be interesting for you guys. This show has, I think we're supporters of the NASA program. We've had NASA scientist Eric Smith has been on the show before. On Monday, NASA launched the Europa Clipper towards Jupiter's icy moon, Europa. I don't know if you guys know about this moon, but the big theory with this moon is that it's covered in ice. It's around the proper size, whatever, where it's got the proper core and the gravitational sort of interaction that it has with Jupiter, that they believe it's covered with ice. And then underneath that ice, it's a massive ocean. Like the entire planet is like an ocean. And of all the places in the universe, they think there's potentially kind of the right conditions where there could be some life. They think Europa and its ocean might have a little bit of pop, a little bit of juice. So they did say on this, we don't expect to find fish and whales and that kind of thing. We want to determine if Europa has the potential to support simple life in the deep ocean under its icy layer. This bad boy is going to take 5.5 years to get to Europa. And a fun little fact about it, the journey to Europa, it's going to take 5.5 years. It's going to cover over 1.8 billion miles. And that includes, which I love this part, this is amazing that somebody figured this out, a gravity boost from Mars early next year that will send it back towards Earth for a second boost that slings it out to Jupiter. So this thing is slingshotting off of Mars and then re-slingshotting off of Earth to go to Jupiter.
It's chaos. I mean, I don't know how anyone's doing any of this stuff. And I just got into a debate with this actually with my buddy Big Rob at the Ole Miss game. We're having some beers, and he's like, I don't know, this Elon Musk guy. I'm with Trent. He's just like a bunch of zeros. It's a ball. But you need someone and people, right? You need programs to go out there and do this shit. Because if no one does it, then nothing's getting done. We don't have to care about it necessarily. We don't have to. We can live our lives. I know that that's a big debate where it's like, why do I have to worry about space? I got to worry about what's going on here. I got to pay my taxes. I got to do all this stuff on this earth. Let's figure out this earth before we figure something else out. But like, you need someone dedicated to doing shit like going to Europa, because one day someone's going to hit a little red button and it's all going to go to shit. And we got to find a way to get out of here, or else it's all over. Someone's got to be looking forward to the future. In 1,000 years, you may look back and say, oh, that guy, Elon Musk, and all the people, Dr. Eric Smith, that were working on this, they were the reason why we're now on this new planet. Who knows? You have no idea. But someone needs to try, right?
I'm fine with that. It is a bit like you want the Yankees to sign Juan Soto right now, right?
Yeah,
you want nothing more, but it's not your money. So you're just kind of like, oh, I'll just let that happen. And if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Now, I don't know about the taxpayer part of it, but if these guys want to go out there and explore and it doesn't really affect me in any way, go ahead and do it. Maybe they'll find something.
Isn't it something like NASA's budget's like
news? A little bit of bad news
of like the budget. What's going on?
Well, just that. I mean, the rocket costs $5 billion in
money.
taxpayer money.
I think when you look at NASA's budget compared to like
there's the point where it's like, if it's costing me money, then it is like,
there's a lot of things costing us money that are not important, unfortunately. Like it's true though. You know, there's a lot of things that we give our money to. We don't even know where the fuck our money's going.
I have no idea.
It's shout out to Elon and Vivek. Then they're the new. I think they're the directors of the Department of Government
Efficiency or something like that.
So they're going to find out where this money's going and cut that shit. That's hopefully the plan.
You got to cut some money at some point. But I think when you look at it, I think NASA hardos, which I'm not putting myself in that category. I don't really know much about it. I am a fan of space, and I am a fan of space exploration. I think that we should definitely be doing it. I think when you look at the budget numbers, it's like less than 1%. I mean, we could look it up, I'm sure, but I think it's a shockingly low number compared to what people think it is. They're like, we're going to send a $500 million rocket. It's like, I think they're sending like $300 million a month to like Ukraine every single month. Like, I don't know, where's the money? It doesn't matter. The money's just endless. It doesn't matter.
Its annual budget is 0.48% of I believe the United States, you know.
Let's figure that like do that and then put 0.48% to the service road when I get onto the highway here, because I got a bunch of fucking potholes. I need that. All the taxes we're paying here in Long Island, please fix the potholes on the Southern State Parkway. Thank you very much.
We don't have that many potholes here that I've noticed, which I guess makes sense.
Dude, Hannah and I drove from Memphis down to Ole Miss, and like the road was so old you could tell that it was like almost brown, and we were trying to figure that out. We're like, how come our roads are so like black and brand new, like when they do redo them, like it's just a different color? And I was saying, I think it's because we have to redo ours like every fucking year because of the rain, the sludge, the snow, all that shit just wears down all of those roads. And down there, like that road that we took from Memphis down to Oxford probably hasn't been redone in like 100 years. Who knows? You know what I mean? It's probably the same ass road that doesn't get cracks. It doesn't get any potholes. And I think that might be the answer. They just don't have they don't have bad weather that breaks it down. The tires driving on it don't affect it. It's just if you keep going straight and flat, nothing should change it. It's when you get these big puddles and then you're hitting it into the gravel, and that's when it starts to break.
I think that's right. And I don't think we get a lot of that here in Arizona. So I can't, almost everywhere I've ever lived, it's like, God, they're doing construction again. They're always doing construction. Nowhere I've ever been does more construction than this fucking place that we live in. Here, don't get me wrong, they do construction, but I don't feel like it's that big of an intrusive occurrence here.
They're shutting down exits all the time around here to redo ramps and the whole deal. It's nuts. It's absolutely crazy.
One of the best apps on my phone, one of the best things that I pay for, that I subscribe to, is Rocket Money. Most Americans think they spend about $62 per month on subscriptions, but get this, the real number is closer to, what would you think, Trent Ryan?
Oh, a couple $100?
$300.
Ooh.
$300. Most Americans, again, think they spend 62. Nope, it's about 300. That is literally thousands of dollars a year, half of which we've probably forgotten about. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions. It also monitors your spending and helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings, which is incredibly important, especially in this economy. With Rocket Money, you have full control over your subscriptions and a clear view of your expenses. You can see all your subscriptions in one place. You can see if something that you do not want. Rocket Money will help you cancel it with just a few taps. I know that can be an absolute pain trying to cancel stuff. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features, which we love using. We love using this app.
It's a finance tool. It really is. You have it. You just like the subscription thing is obviously important. You want to save that money. But if you just like want to see where all of your money's going that you're spending, and you're like, what am I spending money on? All right, maybe I can cut here. I can cut here. Like that. It's really a financial tool. The subscription thing, use that as well. But you can also just connect it to all your finances and it'll break everything down. I use it pretty much every day.
It's awesome. I use it as well. It really helps you out, saves you a ton of money. And it's just a great app. So it's a great app. It's a great tool, the whole deal. So once again, Rocket Money. Stop wasting time on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/4. That's where we need you to go. That's where you need to go. It's going to help you out. That is rocketmoney.com/4. rocketmoney.com/4.
Shout out to space, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think, unfortunately, the furthest that we can go is a place like that, or like that's the closest thing to us. But you got to go way further to find what we want, and unfortunately, that's going to be hard to do. Way further.
No, I'm with Frankie. I'm a big supporter of space exploration. I think this is I always am interested in. I get that a lot of the scientific discoveries in this world and these sort of missions and the different probes that they send out, and even them studying microscopic stuff, it ends up leading to important stuff eventually. But I do wonder what percentage of like scientific effort, discovery, exploration churns up things that just don't in any way matter at all. Like they're sending this $5 billion rocket. It's going to take 5.5 years to get to this moon of Jupiter. What percentage of all of the data that they get along the way, that they get once it's there, that comes into their computer, that do they get where they're like, oh, the temperature at this part of the surface is like minus 100 Fahrenheit. Cool. Like who gives a fuck?
It's also, like it's not sexy. Like most of it is not sexy. Yeah. Like you watch a movie like Interstellar and they're showing you the sexy parts where it's like, oh, they're on this planet where the waves look like mountains and the time is ticking faster. And it's like that's what people think is going to happen when they're like, oh, they're going to go explore space and find this planet that is X. But the reality is they're probably going to do what Riggs is doing and they're going to gather a bunch of data, but none of it's going to make your dick hard when you see it in the headline. Like you're not going to be like, yeah,
it won't. But in 1,200 years, they might look back and be like, we needed that $5 billion rocket to go here to show us that this planet had this, and then we can go there and we can start to plant things down there.
But in the back of your head, you are thinking they're going to find something like they find on Interstellar.
Yeah, of course. You want to be selfish enough to say like we live in a time where we're going to find the coolest stuff in the world. Right. That's just not true. I mean, we are pretty damn lucky living in this time compared to like living in like the Roman days where you can only know your village and you'd go to the Coliseum and watch like someone get eaten by a lion. But now like we get to watch Elon fly fucking rockets to Mars and back and catch them with robotic arms. We're living in some pretty crazy times right now. I don't even know how much crazier you can get, but it keeps progressing. When Elon caught that fucking rocket out of the air and showed that like he can reuse rockets and you don't have to like use all the stuff for landing. You can make them lighter, and you don't have to have any of the landing pad. You can just catch them out of the air. Like that's a huge innovation that like imagine.
It's like a 20-story building. The thing was like a 20-story building.
No one even gave a fuck. Like
Well,
that,
no one gives a fuck about anything anymore.
But if you would have showed that on like the main on the main channel in the 1940s, like and all the little people in front of their TV, like just standing there watching a fucking rocket get caught out of the air, they'd be like, "What is happening right now?" But now it's like, "Oh, Elon, I don't like him anymore."
That's a whole different
Elon's
conversation
X.
of like
I'm
nobody really pays attention to anything that closely. Like when they landed on the moon, we can obviously there's people on this podcast.
I think we did it. Francis told me we landed on the moon.
Okay. I think we did it too.
He said we landed. I mean, it is fishy and it's like very, very like, you know, it's convenient that we just like happened to get it done at that moment.
It's
right?
important to question everything. It's important
to question it. Yeah. But he says like, I was like, how do you know? He's like, I've met the people that have done it. I'm like, all right. All right. Francis is very influential on me. Like anything he says, I kind of.
But there were people huddled around their TVs. And now if you do something like that, like Elon lands a rocket doing whatever he did, nobody gives a fuck.
No one gave a fuck.
Did you see Trump's reaction to the rocket catching thing? Oh my God. Oh, dude, he's telling the story. He's like, oh, we're up on Trump Force One. And he was like, and I had a very important call, incredibly important call. And he said, I looked over the TV and I hung up on this incredibly important call. And I looked at that TV and I said, now I got to watch this. And he said, this is happening. And he goes, you wouldn't believe it. Catches the rocket. And he said, I looked at my guy next to me. I said, is this Elon? This has got to be Elon. He said, that's Elon. He said, I knew it was Elon. I knew this was Elon. And then he's like,
the reaction of the people at like SpaceX did make you kind of get the chills where they like went nuts in that control room. Like they like couldn't believe what they had accomplished. It's like the fastest, largest, heaviest thing ever falling out of the earth, and they caught it and they're able to like reuse that thing. And I don't know what like the benefit of it is. I just know that it's really cool. Like I don't know enough about it. This is kind of like the whole conversation. We don't really know what's going on, but it's a bunch of like, hey, let's get excited for American, like, I don't know, innovation. And, you know, the fact that we're just like progressing civilization, we're doing crazy shit. Maybe we should be focusing more on stuff that's actually here on Earth, but someone's got to be figuring it out. Someone.
I think the reason that we did it, like after reading the Elon Musk book, is everything he does in life is to get us to Mars. That's like all that fucking guy
he
cares
just wants
about.
to get there bad.
When he was on Rogan like last week, he's wearing the Mars shirt, and like all of like SpaceX and then Starlink and all of that is just to come up with a viable business plan so that they could continue to have money to try to go to Mars. And then that Starship, the thing that they caught, is like the big thing that they're always working on in the background, which is what he thinks is eventually going to be sent to Mars. And so I think that was a step. And like that fucking Starship is gigantic, 20-story building. It is going to be the most amazing machine of all time. And they just got to go step by step while they continue to build this company that pays for shit. By the way, it was a SpaceX rocket that shot this Europa moon thing into the sky on Monday. Of course it was. But, you know, and I think this is part of that process of like, can we catch this fucking thing so that this Starship doesn't just crash into the ground? Let's see if we can catch it. And if we can catch it, then we can like put people on it and send it to Mars. Holy shit, we fucking caught it. Like, all right, that's great.
It's not going to be an Elon dick sucking contest, but it's like in fucking 200 years, you'll like think back. We're living in a time where you're saying this guy's name and he's like doing things that are impressive. It's just like there's all these names that you read in history books of them like innovating and inventing stuff. We just like don't, similar to the talk we had the other day where we're just always moving forward. You don't actually understand what's happening in your time. Like it's just, you see it on Twitter and you kind of throw it away, or you see it on the news and you change the channel. But it's like, this is shit that's happening in our time. Like this is a guy that's like inventing shit. You know, we kind of had that argument or that debate like a year ago. Like, are we done inventing stuff? Like we don't have any more inventors or like famous, you know, there's no more Einsteins or Thomas Edisons. And like, you know, when you flip to their page in a textbook, it's got all the things that they invented and all the dates and all that. Like, it feels like we're not living in a time like that, but we actually are. It's just all is happening so fast. And we have so many things that we're worrying about because all the access on our phone I can read every single thing that happened today in a minute on Twitter. And it's just like, oh, it's too much to even grasp.
Speaking of time, I got another little news blip that I wrote down on my notes here. So this one, the overall gist of this is kind of boring. It was like there's a breakthrough in timekeeping, and these physicists are trying to essentially keep an ultra precise nuclear clock is what they're trying to do. And the whole thesis behind this whole thing is that like, even though we create actual clocks and watches and such, and it keeps time to a second and then to within, you know, a tenth of a second and this and that. Eventually you get to a measurement that's not perfectly accurate, and that over long periods of time that will be off because it's just enough inaccurate. And over the 100 years of our life, 50, 80 years of our lives, and then over the thousands of years of our civilizations, it really wouldn't be detectably off. However, what they were saying was, this is an insane fact. They said they've been able to get time, they believe, they've been able to come up with a tool that measures time accurately enough, and this is the most accurate one that we got, that it's insanely accurate. However, it is off just enough that if they went back to 13.1 billion years that the universe has existed, it would be off by about a second by the end of that. Isn't that fucking nuts?
So it's like 13.1 billionths of a second off.
Yeah, that like every second, whatever that, right, it loses like 13.1 billionths of a second.
Right, that's fucking crazy.
If you went back 13.1 billion years, it would be
I don't even
off
know
by
what
about
time
a second.
is when you talk about it in that detail. I don't actually know what time is. Just something that, I mean, we just moved the clocks back an hour just so it gets darker quicker because some farmers said to do it. I don't even know what that means.
By the way, we don't do that here in Arizona.
Does not participate, which I
thought we were getting rid of that shit. I thought the world agreed no more. Do they do that in like Italy?
I don't know.
You know, like, do they do that in fucking Ukraine? Like, is it just an American, you know?
DST is observed in most of Europe, most of North America, parts of Africa, and Asia.
I don't get it.
What countries don't?
I mean, wouldn't you? Isn't it bad too? Like, why aren't we using more electricity? It's getting darker quicker. Like, why? Make it get that sun out for longer.
Most countries do not observe daylight savings time, DST, including Asia. All of Asia does not observe it. Africa, most of Africa does not observe it. Europe, Armenia, Azerbaijan, I don't know what that is. Belarus, Georgia, Iceland, Russia, and Turkey do not do it. Mexico, most of Mexico does not do it. What? Japan and India are also large countries that do not observe.
Does Canada do it?
In the United States, Hawaii and Arizona do not observe DST, as well as America, Samoa, Guam, North America, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. I think Canada does it.
All right.
I just don't like that it gets darker earlier.
4:30, it's pitch black.
It's no good.
I started playing Christmas music yesterday. Took everything down from the attic.
My tree and my wreath are not here yet. Amazon is fucking me a little bit. It's delayed, but I would have a wreath up if it had been delivered. Because
I can hear some rummaging going on downstairs. I know that boxes are being opened. You know, the fall stuff has been put away. I did that last night. That's something that you don't anticipate when you get a house. Like how many times you're putting things. I mean, I basically have a home goods at my house now with all the little trinkets, all the little pumpkins. I took a picture of it last night and sent it to a couple of my friends. I'm like, you wouldn't believe how much fall stuff we have accumulated. And I got to get it all into a box, all 7 boxes, many boxes, bring them up this little stair thing that comes out of the ceiling of my top floor. And I got to go into this attic that I hate. It scares the shit out of me up there. I hate being up there. You never know what's up there. I just don't like it. It's huge. It's a huge attic. You could stand up there. I don't like it. Like every time I turn on that light, I'm picturing an old man just being like, I've been waiting for you. You know, like there's going to be a day where one guy's just staring at me when I turn that light. Because you got to go up in the darkness and turn the light on inside the attic. It sucks, dude. I have so much fear of this attic. I'm petrified by it. And I'm saying, I'm like, I fucking hate it up here. She's handing me the boxes. I'm like, I hate it up here. Get me out of here. But holiday season, man. You know? Got to get those boxes down. Fuck.
You guys haven't been there that long either. You guys have accumulated a lot of stuff.
Bro, we have so many things. It's crazy. I mean, I'm contributing to that. I just bought online. I actually got it delivered. I got 3 Santa Clauses. One Santa Claus, it's like a little thing I'm going to put on a shelf. One Santa Claus is holding a baseball bat. Another Santa Claus is throwing a football. And the other Santa Claus has a little golf bag, and they're all dressed like different. Like it's like an old Scottish Santa Claus for the golfer. It was like $30, $10 a pop. So now that's 3 more things I got to put into a box after Christmas time. Like this is what you don't understand when you're purchasing things. You're getting gnomes, you're getting, villages. The village takes up 10 boxes. It's insane. My last grievance before we go to Austin, or are we doing? We're
gonna do closest to as well. 10? We're in a good place.
Real quick, I've been trying to reach out to GoldBelly. You guys know GoldBelly?
Yeah.
GoldBelly won't respond or read any of my messages. We used to be like a partner with them somehow. I want to get Borrelli's Italian restaurant on GoldBelly so bad. I get more messages about people wanting to try Borrelli's pizza than anything that I get. They're in Colorado. They're in fucking Arizona. They're in
GoldBelly is like a fancier Uber Eats or something.
But you can send it across the country. Like you basically freeze these pizzas. They get them. They get to put them in their own oven, and they get to try it. And then like you could, like my dad could write a little hand note like, "Thank you for ordering Borrelli's. This has been the pizza since 1955 here." You could throw in a little thing in there, like a little T-shirt. You could make a nice little thing. It's a little more expensive, but like people are always asking me that their dream is to go try Borrelli's, but they could never make it to Long Island. I'm like, there's a fucking business out there that does this, and they won't respond to me. They like won't accept it. I wrote the whole story. I went in, I did it on my own as if I was a restaurant owner. Like 1955, same owners. They came from Italy. The whole entire deal, 70 years. The same pizza maker. His thumbs go sideways. Laredo's been making pizza since fucking 1962. Like people want to try this pizza, and they won't respond to me. So this is my call to action. I want to hear from GoldBelly. I want to start putting pizzas on there. It's a shame. Like this is insane. My dad wants to do it. Answer our damn calls.
Are they reading it? Can you see if
they're not reading it? I message them on Instagram. I message them on Twitter. I email them. I signed up. Nothing. I ain't getting nothing.
I signed up.
I do think I feel like Barstool did something with them at some point.
We used to have a partnership with them.
Gotta have a contact.
I've been sending messages to our contacts. Nothing. We got nothing. No one knows a single person.
You're just trying to spread the joy and cheer of Borrelli's Pizza across this great nation.
I want people to try this stuff. I do. I want, like, especially during like the holidays, it might not get done that fast, but like I want to get those messages, like those, like, you see the Borrelli's box. It's in freaking California. That'd be sick.
Oh yeah,
that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta
get it together.
No free ads, but I guess we're using that more. Get fucking food from
Chicago
everywhere.
Pizza, yeah, you could get everything.
Oh,
I didn't know that. I didn't even know that. I'm throwing that on my list. This episode is presented by Kraken, one of the longest standing and most secure crypto platforms in the world. Crypto, there was an election last week. Some are saying the results of that election better for crypto. I've seen that narrative going on all over the place. Crypto's up. We talk a little bit of crypto with Austin Eckroat during this show, although none of us really know a lot about it. Kraken, that's really going to help you. It's going to help us. It has helped us. Kraken is your guide to financial freedom, offering safe and simple access to crypto for all. Kraken is trusted by over 13 million individuals, traders, and institutions around the world. Kraken offers professional 24/7, 365 client support, along with one of the fastest, most performant trading platforms available. Kraken is a spot to be for crypto, Trent.
The people in my life who are into crypto right now are as happy as I've ever seen them. But I don't want people to think that, it's too late. They see all these numbers going up and they're like, I should have got in earlier. No. You got to get in now. And Kraken is the way to do it. They're a great service. They're going to help you out. Again, get in now. Crypto appears to be the future. I think a lot of people would tell you that. And don't be the guy who is like, I don't want to get in. I think it's too late. It's never too late. Get in now, and you'll be the guy in 5 years being like, I'm glad I got in when I did. And when you do it, use Kraken.
Kraken leads with transparency and trust, securing client funds, NFTs, and privacy through top-notch security. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss and is offered to U.S. customers, excluding Washington, New York, and Maine, through Payword Interactive Incorporated. View legal disclosures at kraken.com/legal/disclosures. Go to kraken.com/barstool. That is kraken.com/barstool, and see what crypto can be. Hey, Gravy Train, show yourself.
What's up?
There he is.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, closest to the pin update time.
Oh, the Aaron Rodgers one's going to kill me. I think I read 300 yards.
All right. First one last week. High temperature in Oxford, Mississippi on Saturday was 73, and Trent had 73.
Oh, God. What the fuck is wrong with
2 points. It's kind of bullshit. It's rigged.
God damn.
Like kind of sprinkled. That's actually hot. That's hotter than I thought.
Okay, and then in that game, total points scored between Georgia and Ole Miss, 38 points. And I had the lowest with 49. I told you it was going to be low.
Wow.
Georgia can't score.
God.
Wait, who won that one?
Ole Miss.
Alex.
Oh, me. Sorry.
Okay.
We were all in the 50s.
Yeah, everyone was in the
Not that
50s.
I
was
should
at
remember
49.
my guesses, but if you tortured me and were like, "What were your guesses? You have to get these right," I would have no clue what I
All right,
said.
I'm going to
I
ask you
think
your guess on the
that's
next
right
one.
about me
I'm
too.
curious. All right, passing yards for Aaron Rodgers against the Cardinals.
I don't remember what I guessed.
Trent, do you know what you guessed?
I really have no idea.
He had 151 yards.
God.
And I'm sorry I was so high with 191, but I still won that one.
God.
And then the last one was Juan Soto's contract, which we don't know yet.
But I know like the Mets are out there right now. Lindor flew out with Steve Cohen. He's going to get 750. I mean, the numbers just could keep going up. It's like, this is why, like on Twitter, it's like there's all these reports. The Yankees offered him 530. That's not true. They had to have been higher. I don't know. He's going to get so much fucking money. It's insane. And he deserves it, but the money is endless. That's an endless amount of money.
He's in as good of a position as you can be in where people are fighting for your services.
But also, like, if you...
Rich people.
Yeah.
He's also going
Very
to, like...
rich people.
He's only looking in the highest taxed areas. He's looking in LA, he's looking in New York, and then possibly Toronto, which would be like even more than what he would get taxed here.
If I were Juan, I would make them bake in what I would be getting in these
Now,
other
I
places
don't know
with no
if
taxes.
baseball is the same as hockey. I know in hockey you get paid and taxed based off of where you played that game. So if you play a game in Florida, you experience those tax breaks compared to when you play your 41 games in New York. You understand? Like when you're on the road and you get
different. I'd be surprised if, because I don't
especially
think it's
in
like a
baseball, they're
sports
out there
thing, it's
for
just sort of-
weeks. You're playing 3-game
Yeah.
series. You're out in like Texas for like a week and a half playing against the Rangers, and like, or maybe not a week and a half, but yeah, you're playing Houston, you're playing Texas. You're out there for a while. You get the tax breaks on that. I actually wonder if that happens for baseball. It must.
It's got to be the same or similar. I would guess. I don't know.
I have them this week.
Oh, great.
We're gonna go to golf first. Bermuda Championship this week. What will be the lowest score in a round, like lowest single round score from a player this week? It's a par 71.
Can you say that again?
I'm gonna make you just put a number. No, lowest score,
I got it.
like one round score.
And Riggs, this is a golf course you played. Did you play in the Pro-Am of this event? Is that right?
Are they still at the same course?
That's what I was wondering. I'm not sure.
Port Royal. Yep. I've played this golf course. It's very, if I recall, it's almost always windy there. Like really windy on a fucking island. But yeah, I think it's kind of gettable if there's not a ton of wind.
Okay.
I could see something being pretty low out there. Okay. I've submitted.
All right. Frankie 63, Trent 61, Alex 62, Riggs 63.
Fucking fuck.
Okay, second one. Ashton Genty has been just tearing up teams this year. He's averaging 192 yards a game. How many rushing yards will he have this week against San Jose State?
Iowa Hawkeyes lost to the UCLA Bruins on Saturday. That was or on Friday, actually. That was tough.
I tried to jump on the Ole Miss train, and I think they're off this week. I was pretty excited. Like Saturday, I'm going to watch them. Nothing. Not playing.
I was off too.
All right. We have Trent 174, Frankie 138, Riggs 209, Alex 208. Fuck.
All right.
I got
Oh
fucking.
man.
I was trying to get the high end there.
I'd rather be 207 there, but that's okay.
Okay. Third one. Riggsy, Sabres and Blues on Thursday in Buffalo.
God.
What will be the time of the first goal scored? So the time into the game. If you want to say second, third period, you can, but you know, when it's on the box score, 138 means 138 into the game.
That's how they do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you scored at 130, it would be 18.
And how much time has gone off the
Yeah.
clock in that period?
Yeah.
Yep.
22.
Sabres have scored quick their last three, so scored like 30
Well, one of
seconds
the
in
greatest
against the Rangers.
bets. One of the greatest bets on DraftKings Sportsbook is the no goals first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. It's so
Ooh,
much
I love that
fun.
one.
I bet it every time I go to an Islander game. I'm just hoping for just like a nice, solid first 10 minutes, no goals. I always
Feel
remember
each
I
other
went,
out.
we went on opening night. I think it was opening. Oh, it was last year actually, and we like me and my buddies all bet it like pretty hard, and we were like no goal, and then Brock Nelson came down a breakaway with like 9 minutes and 90 and 48 seconds, and he hit the post, and we went nuts, and everyone's looking at me like whoa, like why, and I'm like just score in 10 seconds. We were so excited. He hit the
That's-
fucking post.
I like that bet a lot.
All right, let me see.
All right, we got Riggs 639, Alex 159, Trent 437, and Frankie 822.
Wow.
Okay, last one. Big football game this weekend. Bills against the Frauds. We are going to, or the Chiefs. We are going to say combined passing yards.
Undefeated. Dynasty.
You're such a loser. Fraud.
9-0.
I'm
Best team
buying
of-
into it. I'm
best
buying
team-
into the bit. Just
Arguably will be the best team of your lifetime.
this year,
No, just like this team, this run that they're on. Could be.
not the
I
Patriots.
know the Patriots, but like the Chiefs are currently in it. Like they're doing it. They're
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
you're
but you said
shitting
best
on-
of your lifetime.
It could be. I
Patriots
said.
are-
I'm saying.
Oh,
it
could be. Yes, 100%.
You also are living in a world where
I'm
like
just trolling.
Josh Allen is like the Phil Mickelson of this era, where it's
Yes.
like, I mean, in that scenario they get a couple, but like they could have had way more if Patrick Mahomes didn't exist.
100%.
So many more. You're just going to every AFC championship and just getting sent home. Close the door in your face. Go home.
Bills lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
In a
Yeah.
row.
That's something
That's
that no one talks
crazy.
about.
I mean,
That's just
it's absurd.
like, all right, we lost this one. We're like,
They-
let's just get back there next
What
year.
happened
Get
on the
back
fourth
there, and
one
they
when
lost.
they're like,
Oh,
all right, we lost
you
3 in
know.
a row. We got
I think the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl. I want that to happen so bad.
Oh, that would be fucking great.
yeah.
Dan Campbell just biting people's kneecaps, going crazy.
that would be incredible.
All right. Combined passing yards for Josh and Patrick Mahomes on Sunday. They're averaging about 230, 240 each this year.
You going to this game?
No, I'm going to Arizona early. Going to watch with my buddy there.
I said it in the interview, but I was up until like 3:00 in the morning last night playing Call of Duty, and at like 1:30, I stood at like our little snack closet, and I opened it up, and I had extra butter popcorn that I was about to put in the microwave, and I stared at it, and I was like, "You don't." And I out loud, I'm like, "You don't need to eat this right now. It's 1:30 in the morning. You're going to bed soon. Just throw it back." And I literally took it, I crumbled it in my hand, I threw it into the thing, and I slammed this fucking closet door. It was like I felt like I really defeated a demon.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
is
Like,
good.
The brain was like, eat it, just throw it in the microwave. It's not that bad. Eat it now. And I was like, no, I screamed, no, and just threw it and closed the door.
These days, I'll be lucky, and lucky is not the right word, but it would be an upset if I see 11 p.m.
Being
My-
upset.
My whoop says I fell asleep at 8:59 last night.
Oh my
What?
gosh.
Well, that's crazy.
I was all around yesterday too, all around Long Island, golfed. Like I had to go to a bunch of different things. No, I just have energy late at night. I don't go to bed that late all the time. Usually like
No.
11:30, 12, I'll get into bed, watch a show. But last night,
I'll read a bit of a book and I'll tuck myself in and go to bed.
It's beautiful.
sleep when I'm dead.
Wow.
I'm not even advocating against what you're doing. I'm saying I'm not
Can't even do
physically
it.
able to stay up past certainly midnight.
Yeah.
Just no chance. 3 a.m. What? That's a time I haven't seen in 10 years. I just don't have it in me. Again, I'm not anti you. I wish I still had the vigor and the young and the youthfulness
Yeah.
to stay up and shoot on Call of Duty until 3 a.m. I've hit 18 REM cycles by then.
Okay. Combined passing yards, Frankie 513, Trent 459, Riggs 596, Alex 631.
God, I knew you were gonna go high. I didn't know you were gonna go that far.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shootout.
I hope so. It's more fun that way.
Fucking bitch.
Damn.
31-28 Chiefs. I mean, that's it.
You can say that. I'll just remind you on Monday.
That's
The Bills are 3-1 against the Chiefs in the regular season.
Yeah, regular season's really.
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about right now. That's all we're talking about right now.
Oh shit.
All right.
Somebody messaged me that we talked about getting pencils and all this stuff. Did you guys
shit.
see that there was a story about a guy, and I couldn't find the DM, but there's a story about a guy that gets a tattoo of every single golf course he's played. It's a whole
What?
sleeve, both his arms. So it's like, which
That's kinda
got
sick.
me thinking, if you're a tattoo guy, pretty fucking sick. If you can like move them all throughout your arm and you have a full
Yeah.
sleeve of like Shinnecock and Sabonic and wing foot, and like as
Is
it goes, and you're just kind of pointing to all the places you played, and you have a memory of all of them. If you're a tattoo guy, I don't think it's the worst move of all time.
Two things. One, if that guy hears about this, come on the podcast. We want to talk to you about it.
Yes,
And two, do you get every place, or is it just like the pencils where it's a noteworthy place?
Pencils. It's just like the pencils.
Yeah,
You're not-
noteworthy. Yeah.
I mean, depends on what you consider noteworthy. Like I'd get Eisenhower red. I'd get Eisenhower. I don't even know if Eisenhower is a logo, to be honest.
It's really personal preference, I guess.
Yeah, it's personal preference. If you play an
I would
all-time
get
golf
Bear.
course, you get Bandon, you get the whole deal. That'd be sick.
Yeah. I would get Bear Creek in Wentzville, Missouri, because it's just the public course that we play every time I go home, and it's just awesome. It's got a place in
You
there
get them
called
little circles, like just like the ball markers, like just throughout the whole arm, and you kind of weave it through and make sure it looks artistic and it looks good. I want to talk to this guy. I got to find it. I think he got like interviewed, but I don't know.
I have a list of pencils that I need. Do you want me to go through it, or do you want me? I can go through it fast.
Yeah, go through it fast.
I know we're running kind of long, but I've got a list that I
through fast.
And then we're going to get to a great interview.
Okay, I want people to get to that interview, so I'll go through this kind of fast. But stop me. These are the pencils that I need, and then you guys can also mention if you need them.
And honestly, like, how are you going to get these sent to you?
I haven't thought that far.
Send it to Borrelli's. Send them to Borrelli's, and then I'll just have them, and then I'll just give them to you because I might need the ones that you're sent. 2 of them. I might need every single one you're about to say.
Okay.
And Borrelli's is a public, like, you can just look it
I know.
up,
I don't really want people knowing my home address.
Right. So just send them to Borrelli's. My dad will look at all the pencils. He'll wonder why a bunch of pencils are getting sent there.
Okay. So send these.
He's going to actually be pissed about that. He's going to be like, why? It's only pencils.
We need a P.O. box. This podcast needs a P.O. box. All right. But these are the pencils that I need. And I'm just going to rip through them, and you guys stop me if you want.
It's actually a good call. We should have a P.O. box.
Alex Bush, let's get a P.O. box.
So do you want to read this off now, or do you want to wait for the P.O. box?
How long does it take to get a P.O. box?
We can send it to the office, too.
But that
we're trying to let's stay out of the orbit there. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's wait. We're gonna get a P.O. box.
We're gonna get a P.O. box, and people can send us like nice stuff. You know, They can send us like things from golf courses, little scorecards. We'll open up the P.O. box like once a month. You know, we'll do it here on Long Island. I'll go pick it up.
We should have been doing this
fun as hell. There's gonna be a severed cock in there or something.
No, hopefully not. But this is a new segment. We'll have a P.O. box segment.
I'm sure it's the oldest segment in the book. I'm sure a million radio shows have done this, but I think it's innovative. I think it's inventive. I think it's Elon Musk-esque.
I like it.
P.O. box. We'll do it once a month. I'll go and fucking pick that shit up. It'll be the greatest day of the month when I get to go to that. How does a P.O. box work? It's like a public place that you just go. It's like you go to the mail. You go to the.
Yeah, I think that's just like a bank. It's like a bank of like boxes of mailboxes
at the mail place.
Cool.
All right.
I love it.
I love it. We're getting a P.O. box. And then next show, reminder, set it, talk to Siri, do whatever you got to do. Make sure we talk about this on Monday. We're going to be together. We're going to be together doing the show from the Barstool Classic Championship. We are talking about this P.O. box.
I'm going to remember.
Okay.
I want you guys to know that Bear Creek Golf Course that I talked about has a sign, like a political sign that says, you just went through the layer, because it's called Bear Creek. Then it has these little things on it. Like it says, if you scored bogey or better, you beat the bear. If you kept the same ball, you're now the grizzly. And then it says, pace and play will get better from here. Remember, keep running. And it's literally like a political sign.
That is like the opposite of the Beth Page sign, where it's like only good golfers can play this. You are danger, warning.
The layer. It's like 2, 3, and 4 at Bear Creek. Great spot. All right. Great interview coming up. Austin Eckroat, most recent winner on the PGA Tour. Enjoy the interview. Thanks for listening. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
The leaves are falling, but golf season does not have to end with the Rapsodo MLM 2 Pro. You can play more golf this fall no matter where you are. The MLM 2 Pro, this thing's awesome, by the way, is a mobile launch monitor and golf simulator that you can easily take to the range or set up at home to play and practice. I use it on the range all the time. It gives you a really cool, it's got a camera feature, so it gives you a really cool tracer on your ball right away, which is always fun to look at. Within seconds, it gives you, the metrics on your shot, how far it flew, how what its apex was, if it went left, right, and by how much. This thing's just an excellent tool.
It's also, if you live in a part of the country where golf courses are going to close, you can play full rounds of golf on this MLM 2 Pro. Like you can get a net, set it up in your garage, in your basement, wherever you have space. Frankie and I were playing Bethpage Black on this thing. Like they've got all these golf courses on there. And again, if you live in an area where it's like, I can't play golf, I got to wait months until I swing again. That's not true. Get a whole setup, get this device, and you can play as much golf as you want, maybe more than you would during in season. So this thing, it's got all these different features. It's got what Riggs is talking about on the range. It's this little device, and it's so powerful. So you should get one, and you will improve your golf game.
It is just a little guy. I throw it in my golf bag. I throw it literally in my golf bag. You don't even notice. I put it in there with like a rain jacket, an extra glove, and the Rapsodo MLM2 Pro. I just put it in the side pocket of my golf bag. It's that easy. It offers 30,000 simulated courses to play, 13 metrics, and 3 video replay options to analyze your swing. Whether you're looking to improve your game or improve your Saturdays with the boys, the MLM2 Pro is the solution for you. Play your way with Rapsodo Golf. Play without limits. Also, we're doing there's a little bundle, by the way. Don't miss out on the opportunity to save $40. We can save you $40 on the MLM2 Pro Plus RPT bundle this holiday season while supplies last on Rapsodo.com. The bundle includes an MLM2 Pro, 15 golf balls, and the first year of premium membership, all for just $729.99. Austin, what's up?
The app was just spinning, so I cleared it and then it worked.
All good.
Attaboy.
It's a funky app.
You already did better than JT Poston. He just let it spin for hours, I think.
Really?
He never really got in.
Yeah,
Right.
I was sitting there. I was like, maybe they're a couple minutes late, but no, it was me.
We're kind of recording, by the way. We got Austin Eckroat on the show. He's the most recent PJ Tour winner. You got like a nice little, you're building out kind of a little office here. You got a nice background.
Yeah, so we just moved into a house probably 4 months ago, and this is my one room I get.
Dude, so I'm renting a house now, as you can see, and I have blank walls behind me. Frankie has a great setup. Riggs has a great setup.
Yeah, those are dope.
I wish that had already happened to me. Like I'm starting from scratch, which is a great place to be. You're kind of there too, although you got some good stuff up there already.
I'm working on it a little bit. Yeah,
having a
like
blank
that
canvas
neon.
is intimidating.
It is.
The neon's nice.
Yeah, where do you start?
Neon's
it's
a
the
nice
Walker Cup.
touch.
That
Oh,
one's sick.
yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Sick. Did they give those to you guys? You buy that
No,
in the shop there? Or something?
we had to buy it. Well, I think it was only for the players, but we had to buy it.
Oh, that is sick.
Yeah.
We got to get some neon going. I don't have any neon in here.
I need neon. I've been looking for neon for my basement, and it's really hard because you want to have it nice and clean where you don't have any wires. So you got to figure out a way to like get them through the wall and all that shit. But like if you can get a nice clean neon sign, like I've been looking for an Islanders neon sign or like a Borrelli's one to put in my basement.
Borrelli's.
Like that. Yeah. Like that's, I want the guy, like the Borrelli's guy. It's just really hard to find like a customized neon set.
It's also easier for guys like Austin because he's accomplished. Like he's done things that are impressive that you want to put on your wall. You are looking on my screen at the wall of a guy who hasn't really accomplished that much. So that's why I have nothing on my walls.
I mean, everything behind me, there's no accomplishments of mine. It's just like Tiger Woods fist bumping. It's like other golf courses that other people have played and major games that I didn't. The Islanders that won 30 years before I was born. So, I mean.
It is like mine too. It's like another grown man gave me a hug at one point, and I was like, fuck, dude, I got to get that on my wall. That is awesome. That's really cool. But I think, honestly, so I was going through, I had a couple buddies over this last weekend, and I was going through kind of, they were like, oh, your little wall is great, whatever. I think the coolest thing on here that I don't know that people know about is this, which when Hideki won the Masters and his caddy did that iconic moment where he bowed to the course and then took the pin off. He didn't know anybody was filming, whatever. We made T-shirts of it, and then our buddy who runs like PGA Tour Japan reached out and was like, Hideki's team would love some of these shirts. We sent him like 20 shirts, and his caddy signed that shirt, and then in Japanese it says, "Thank you, Barstool."
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Awesome.
That was a cool
awesome.
moment. That was pretty sweet.
That was sick.
Yeah.
All respect. What kind of, they give you cool stuff for winning this last week?
Well, the trophy's pretty sweet. Have you guys seen that? It's got like, obviously it's got the Cabo arch, and then it's got a divot out in the bottom of it, and it's blue, and on the inside it's got like carved out of this granite stone is whales and sea turtles. It's incredible.
No way.
Yeah.
No
yeah,
way.
I mean, yeah, it's so sweet. So sweet.
That and the
That's
cash,
right.
it's pretty good to win tournaments for sure.
Cash is good.
Yeah.
Do you
Cash is king.
do you like collect anything? We were just to finish off on like the wall stuff. Like, are you like we're big pencil collectors here. We're
Yeah.
like real cool guys. Yeah.
So
do you do anything like that?
Yeah, my wife collects pencils from every event. So after a round, I'll give her a pencil, and we haven't done anything with them yet. But at some point, I guess she's got a
Now, do
vision.
the pencils say the event name on it or the
It
golf
depends.
course?
It depends. She likes to
Got
get the
it.
golf course pencils, but they don't always have them. So some of them say, whenever we go over to the Scottish Open, it just says Rolex, which is pretty sweet too. But
That is sick.
so I mean, it's just some of them say the tournament, some of them say the golf course. It's just,
Let me ask you this. So I've been, at the Masters, been there for like a practice round, and I think we were there last year on I was there on a Monday, and on the 10th tee you could get right in there as the fans, like next to the practice green, and then the 10th tee. And a couple fans were like getting in the mix with some of the caddies, and the caddies were because they've got the whole setup right there with the box, with the pencils and the ball markers. Yeah. And a couple fans were like mucking it up with the caddies, and the caddies were giving people some pencils. Do those pencils say Masters on it, or do those just say Augusta National on it?
I think they just say Augusta National, which is, that's sweet. And
That's sweet.
That is
but
sweet.
Funny story, you're so close on that 10th tee box. So last year I'm playing a practice round, and I've got a little magnet on the side of my bag that I stick my rangefinder to. And like every other person, I have my phone number on my rangefinder. And someone was like, hey, you might want to, luckily none of us have phones this week because, someone might end up calling you when you miss the cut for asking for money. So, but I had never even thought of that with, having my phone number on the side of my rangefinder.
I think I did that once with my old apartment when we lived in Manhattan, where it's like I posted an Instagram story of something. I didn't even realize that in that was like a package that had come, and just very vibrant was just like the address. Luckily, a bunch of people DM'd me and they were like, dude, you might want to take that. I don't know if anybody would have done anything with it, but I wouldn't even have thought of that. I love that you have your phone number on your rangefinder still as a 2-time PGA Tour winner in case you lose that bad boy.
Well, my rookie year, I lost 5 rangefinders.
Jesus.
Well, because you have to I take it out of my bag because I'm afraid I'm going to use it just out of routine. And a couple times throughout the year we have metal lockers, so I'll stick it to the metal like the door, and yeah, that's getting left for sure. So this year I've made it through all year with 1 rangefinder, so that's improvement.
How was Cabo as like a work week? Did you guys like go out to dinner? Is the resort awesome? What was the week like down there?
It's an awesome week. I work with Worldwide Technology as well, so they do a great job with us. They put us up at Nobu, which is obviously an incredible hotel, and then they have outings probably 3 or 4 nights, throughout the week, and they're not mandatory for us to come to, but they're fun. So my wife and I, we always go, and it's just from Monday through Sunday, it's just there's always stuff going on. More events that players show up to than most weeks. Everybody's in Cabo, they want to have a good time, so it's probably more of a family feel than most tournaments, I would say. But just an awesome week, and fun golf course to play. It's pretty wide off the tee, so it's not too stressful from off the tee. But then it's a very difficult second shot golf course, so it's just a great week.
Is playing an event similar to how when we go to new golf resorts and like our play directly dictates how we feel about the resort? Like, or do you love this place because you just like you went there and you won? You're like, it's great. The events are awesome. The food was great. Family,
people are
the whole
nice.
sponsor.
I really love the locals there.
Like, if you miss the cut, like,
oh,
you're just like, fuck that place.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes. Like, I'll miss the cut. I'm like, dude, that golf course sucks. Like, what are you? But yeah, no. So I've always thought, because this event used to be at Mayakoba, and that was I got a sponsor exemption there my senior year, and I finished 12th, and it's still like my favorite resort of all time, and it's 100% because I'm biased. No doubt about it.
I gotta ask you so I would talk about your play a little bit. A couple things that stuck out. You just mentioned it's a second shot golf course. You made 11 birdies on Sunday. I was going through some of your stats last year. I think you were over 100th. I think you were like 102nd in strokes gained on approach. This year, you're, I think, 27th. It's your best attribute out there. Second shot golf course makes a lot of sense. You would make that many birdies and win. What was kind of the turnaround with that part of your game?
That was a weird year last year. I kind of struggled with the golf swing all year, which it's always been the strength of my game was, ball striking. Through college, through junior golf, where I've lost strokes has been around the greens and putting. And last year I was just dealing with the golf swing all year long. And, I was managing hitting a driver, in the fairway most times, but you really saw the struggles with the approach shot. And, this year it just kind of felt like it was back to normal, like I was comfortable over, the irons. And so I wouldn't say I put in a ton of effort into fixing that part of my game because I knew it was fine. It was just something was just slightly off. I was still trying to improve the short game. And, it was nice to have that come back because that's honestly, whenever you narrow it down, that's where you win golf tournaments. It's hitting the approaches close, not short-siding yourself, doing, that's where tournaments are won and lost. Obviously on the greens as well when you're making putts, but, putting yourself in a position to make putts is how you get there.
It's funny because we talk about it a lot, right? There's so many cliches in golf. It used to be, drive for show, putt for dough, and then decade golf, and a lot of the analytics come out. And my guy Brandel, who I love to death, right? He's always up there championing something, and he's up there, he's like refuting that. He's like, actually, it's all about driving the golf ball best. Me and Trent Frankie screamed at him when he tried to claim that Dustin Johnson's tee shot at Kapalua on like the 12th hole that didn't go in on that par 4 was the best shot in the history of golf, even though it just bounced down the hill and ended up like a millimeter away. But the whole point is like, there's all these cliches about what's the most important attribute. And I do think you just made a great point because we talk so much about PGA Tour setups. And for the most part, it depends on the track. But for the most part, right, it's like you whack it down there as far as you can and then you try to hit it close and make a lot of birdies. So it does seem like I haven't heard a ton of great arguments before. People even fight that like, really, it's if you can hit your irons, but it does, like, as long as you're in play off the tee and you guys are as good as you are, it really does come down to like, no matter where your drive goes, as long as it's in play, if you're really, really good with your irons and you could just get it into a pretty safe spot. And then when you hit good drives, hit it really close, like you can make up a lot of ground on the field doing that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think if you think about, just 3 examples off the top of my head is the way Tiger Woods played golf. He was the best iron player of all time. And then, think about Jordan Spieth in 2015. It's not like he was hitting a ton of fairways. And then you think about Scotty this year. He was the best iron player on tour. I mean, it's just, I think there's a big proponent to saying that, it could be maybe not the most important part of the game, but if you're going to win a golf tournament, you're going to have to hit it close. So, oh shit.
Morikawa gets into those modes where he's unstoppable with the irons.
My cat. That's my cat. He just jumped up here.
Cat.
The dog's
What's the
locked
cat's
up.
name?
Hogan. So we got the Hogan poster right there.
Nice.
Incredible. That's incredible. Big Hogan guy.
Big Hogan guy. And then our dog's Arnie.
Iron player.
So,
just a great iron player.
Arnie and Hogan.
Yes, sir.
Golf.
This guy loves golf. That's
this
beautiful.
guy just
You
loves
like to see
golf.
that?
I played golf yesterday with my buddies, and my agent called me and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Playing golf." He's like, "Get a life."
So you're one of those guys who will play all the time. Like we talked to a lot of guys actually who are like, I don't touch a club from this time to this time.
Yeah.
But you just won a golf tournament and you're already back out there.
Yeah, I struggle taking time off. I just don't know what to do, with myself. I can play video games for 2 hours and then I'm like, all right, well, what else am I going to do? So, it was nice out yesterday. All my buddies, are in town. So might as well go play some golf.
What kind of video games are we playing?
Right now, the new Call of Duty. That's the one.
I'm ripping the shit out of that thing, man.
Yeah,
so I love it.
I started cooking with that bad boy this week too.
It's so good.
It's great.
It's so good.
It was funny though in Mexico. I was trying to play multiplayer, but it was like just a fraction delayed, and it was just driving me nuts. So I ran through the campaign on last week in Mexico. So
I love that. Yeah, dude, it's so much fun.
Right?
The campaign is
campaign's
awesome.
really good.
There was times at like night I'd have to. It's kind of freaky. Like there's all these zombies and stuff, and I've never been into the zombies mode in Call of Duty, so it'd be late at night and jump scares, and I'm like, all right, I'll do this when the sun's back out.
You're in a foreign country. You're like, oh shit.
Just gets you, man. Like I go through these modes. Like I usually play NHL or PGA Tour 2K23, and then Call of Duty comes out, and it's like a way different. Like I was up last night until 3 a.m.
Yeah,
it just gets you. Like you're just oh, dude. Because you're just like going and you're playing online with buddies and you just like don't even realize what time it is and you're like one more. Yeah. And then you just get that sensation of like the controller vibrating and you're on fire and your like ratio is really high and you're like, I'm not going to sleep. I'm just seeing the board. I'm seeing the field right now.
It's so true. It's so true. I mean,
And then you have one bad game. You're like, we got to play one more. There's no way we're ending on that. There's no way we're ending on that. It's like the most commonly used phrase in all of video games.
yeah, and then you win one. It's like, all right, you can't end on a win. You got to keep going.
Can't end on a win. You
So,
got
like,
to keep going. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you'd call it marketing, but their timing on releasing games is, I think, perfect for everybody because it's like,
cold weather.
You want to start playing video games. It's every year
Yeah.
I go through about 3 months. I just absolutely rip through Call of Duty.
I know. I said to my wife, I'm like, I got to stop doing this. Like, I got into bed last night. I'm in like a weird rut, right? I got to stop going to bed at 3 a.m.
30-year-old guy climbing into bed with his wife is just like, I got to stop playing
I got to stop playing that video game. Like, it's getting to me.
Yeah.
Jesus. One of my favorite things on this planet is hopping in my golf cart, my Easy Go golf cart, when I'm in Pinehurst, cruising around the village, going up to the clubhouse, waving to people. It's got a little horn on it. You can honk at people if you need to. It's got cool rims on it, so it just looks cool. You don't have to go with the rims. The beauty of it, you go to easygo.com, and you can just customize it to your own. We're also giving one of these things away. They're the best in the business, by the way. Competitors, not even close. EasyGo's trusted. Augusta, Georgia, that's where these things are made. That's where they have it. So I don't know if you know this, but pretty much everything that's comes out of Augusta, Georgia is just pure excellence, including EasyGo. You can go to barstoolclassic.com/EasyGo sweeps. Enter for a chance to win. Again, one of our listeners, we're giving away an incredible EasyGo Express S4. EasyGo is the best in the business, and golf cart living is the best living.
It's as good as it gets. Yeah, we talk a lot about it when we do these ads, but it is true. It's like if you have a golf cart that you can just get into and drive to where you're going as opposed to getting in a car, that's a better lifestyle. And Riggs is talking about it like at Pinehurst. I know I keep talking about it, but I will be living that soon in Florida. And I'm thrilled. And EasyGo is the place to be, the place to go for customizable golf carts. Go on there, look around. It's really fun just to like put on different accessories, show it with different colors. Just go on there, take a look. EasyGo, they're the best.
And jump on our link to enter to win. Okay, you can enter here to win. It's barstoolclassic.com/EasyGo sweeps. That is barstoolclassic.com/EasyGo sweeps. Enter to win a brand new EasyGo Express S4. Another talking point with your game is that you won earlier in the year. You've won twice this year, which is incredible. I think
Thank you.
There's actually been 6 or 7 guys this year, which I feel like that's a lot. But
Yeah, no, I think so too.
Yeah, winning twice. It's only really, I think, your second full kind of season out on tour, Corn Ferry Tour. Before you're 25 years old, you're still a young guy. Do you feel like it helps almost to be going in? Like I said, it's only second year. Like no scar tissue. You're still fresh. You're young. You're kind of fearless. You're able to get these wins in these spots. Like, do you feel like it's some weird way that almost helps you a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, that first year was weird. I so hot and cold. I had a stretch where I missed like 7 cuts in a row and probably like 9 or 10. And but then I popped off and finished second. And it was just a weird year. And then to have a little bit more consistency this season, and obviously get 2 wins, and play the elevated events, play all those big events, run through all 4 majors this season. At age 25, I couldn't have really timed it up any better with going to school for 4 years. And I think it's just a huge confidence boost for me. It's kind of feels like the pressure's off now. I can just go and play golf. And I really thought that way after the first win. It's you're kind of battling that first year to keep your tour card. That's kind of what the goal is. And then to get that first win, I have 2.5 years of job security. It kind of just frees you up to say, hey, I can take risk on Thursday, Friday now. I can go and try to win this, put myself in good position rather than, needing to make a cut, needing to get points and all this stuff. Now I can kind of just go out there and try to win golf tournaments and, get myself in contention. So it's, I feel like there's a mental switch, or not I don't necessarily know what you'd call it, but, something to where, the focus is elsewhere from points now to winning golf tournaments.
Yeah. That first win, too, Cognizant Classic, PGA National. We were just down there last weekend, and the bear trap. I mean, I imagine, too, that's a jolt of confidence and belief, not just the win, but I mean, that is a hard-ass golf course that you won on.
Yeah. I had a 3-shot lead with 4 to go, and I I was not comfortable. That lead could have gone away in one swing. That golf course is incredible. It's actually one of my favorites out here. And
Well, of course it is.
well, yeah, especially now. But it's yeah, I missed the cut there my first season. That was during the stretch of 7 in a row, I think. And to go out there and
shitty golf
win.
course back then. It
Yeah,
was
but
a
it was
dog
so
shit course.
it was so
Much
bad,
changed.
so bad in 2022. They great renovations. That's just
Right. Yeah, right. Cut the grass differently this year now. It's way better.
yeah.
How'd you like the whole college process? Oklahoma State, go
Yeah.
Pokes, right? Is that
Go
what we say?
Pokes,
We like to say that. How many colleges did you attend to, like, when you were scouting out where you wanted to play your college ball? Where, like, did you have multiple places that you wanted to go to, or did you always have your eyes set on Oklahoma State?
I mean, it was mostly Oklahoma State. I grew up an OSU fan. I lived 45 minutes from campus, so
Incredible.
me and my dad would go to all the football games, and whenever they hosted regionals and nationals at Karsten Creek, I'd go out and watch. And I always wanted to go there. And they were I had some schools show interest earlier than Oklahoma State did, so I took visits and stuff like that. But then, pretty much once Oklahoma State showed any interest, I don't even know if they had offered me a scholarship yet, and I committed. So as soon as I got that phone call, I said, "Oh yeah,
How does life work with, like, being a top athlete, like, in another sport, aside from, like, the big, obviously you guys are such a big program now, winning national championships? Like, were you able to attend games, like football games and stuff? Like, did you have kind of a normal college experience, or was it, like, so dedicated to golf that you really didn't get to experience the rest of the stuff?
Yeah, I would say I did a pretty good job of splitting personal life and college. And when I was in college, I was in a fraternity as well. Matt Wolf and I were both BDs at Oklahoma State, and we had that separate lifestyle from the golf that we were doing. And we lived with 2 fraternity brothers our sophomore year of the year. We won the national championship in our freshman season, but we still had a great team that year, and went to all the football games we could go to, went to basketball games, wrestling matches. We tried to do it all. And that was 4 of the best years of my life. That was awesome.
Totally.
I look back and I tell the guys on the team now, because I'm still really close with the team, and same coaches whenever I was in school. So we're good friends of mine now. And I always tell them, I had 1 more year of eligibility, and sometimes I wish I would have taken it. Looking back, it's just so fun.
Of course.
I mean, it's
the best.
It's the best time of your life. There's no stress. You just play golf and then go have fun.
We just got done talking about that on the show. It's those you don't realize, because when you're in it, it's your first experience in college, and then when you're out of it, you're just like, oh, that was it. That was the time. Growing up's fine and all that, but being an adult kind of sucks. But college is the best.
Yeah, I mean, I remember if we played bad at a tournament and we were traveling home, it's like, well, what are we doing tonight? The versus are like now it's like I play bad and I have to get on a plane and fly to the next event, and but obviously there's great benefits to what I'm doing now. And I'm loving doing what I'm doing now. But that time you don't realize when you're in it. You're ready to be done. You want to be an adult. You're ready to move on. But looking back, it's a good time.
I just went to Ole Miss, and we were, like, talking with my buddies because we went to the Ole Miss Georgia game, and we're walking around the Grove, and we're saying this is the coolest college experience. Like, imagine being here for 4 years. For Mincy, our guy Mincy, was 8 years at Barstool. He went to Ole Miss for 8 years, best 8 years of his life. But, like, we were trying to talk, like, because Jackson Dart, quarterback, Ole Miss, good looking dude, slinging the ball all over the place. And I was saying, he's like, dude, that guy's got the life. Like, he's got, like, any friend, any girl, the whole entire deal. And I was trying to think, I'm like, I don't know if that is the best situation to be in. Like, he has so much pressure on him. If he does anything, there's, like, cameras on him. It's, like, the craziest. Like, you're under the microscope. You have to win for your football team. You're such a huge program. Like, you have so much pressure. And I was saying there's got to be other positions at that school that are better. It's like being one of the best golfers that's able to go to the games, like, have the beers, experience all of the tailgating. Then you're like, you're on your way to becoming a professional anyway. Not as many people are probably on you guys as they would be the football team or the basketball team. That might be the sweet spot right there. Being the best golfer at a school like that. I mean, come on. I think we may have found it. Yeah, it has to be.
That's like the backup quarterback situation.
It really is.
Blue Mountain State, baby.
Blue Mountain State.
Yeah, it really is
So good.
Yeah, but now you add in the fact that those quarterbacks are getting paid several $1 million too. It's just a
I know.
crazy scenario, you know.
Crazy.
Yeah, that part of it is ridiculous. It's
Is that
funny, people
changing
say-
golf at all? Is that changing college golf or not? Is it not reached that yet?
From what I've heard, there's a few guys that get paid, you know, a good amount of money, and then outside of that, it's mostly appearance fees, playing in pro-ams, stuff like that. So it's, I mean,
Oh, that makes sense.
obviously it's great,
Yeah.
and you know, but they're not getting paid what, you know, anything near what
Yeah,
the other
right.
athletes are, for sure. I mean, none of our events are televised. You know, it's just, you know, it's, well, I guess some of them are now, but you know, it's a completely different atmosphere.
A couple random questions for you. What's the best restaurant on tour?
Mr. B's, it's in New Orleans. That or
Yeah.
that Acme Oyster House. I love New Orleans. I think that's I think just all around the best food on tour is.
We went to Mr. B's with Dr. Brett McCabe.
I think we
We've
did.
been to Mr. B's, I think.
Place is so
Put the
good.
put the
You put the apron on.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
There was
That
a
place ruled.
we went there 2 years ago. The first year I played at the Zurich Classic, because they had this lamb that was, I mean, the best lamb I've ever had in my entire life. And I went back this year, and it was, I guess it was a limited time, you know, menu option because it wasn't there. I was devastated.
There's a spot
I
when you
was
play
devastated.
in San Diego at Torrey Pines called Ken Sushi. I don't know if you've been there yet.
That
You gotta go there.
my second best, or actually, honestly, that might be my favorite restaurant is actually in San Diego. It's Din Tai Fung. The place is so good. They have one in Vegas too. It's at Aria. We went back this year.
Yeah.
It's just dim sums, you know, like dumplings and soup dumplings.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just the stuff that you can just pig out on and eat 100. You know, it's
100
so
on.
good.
Turning
So
Trent on
good.
right now.
I'm getting excited over. Yeah. that's
Speaking of
amazing.
Trent, look at Trent with the apron on.
Oh, yeah,
right.
that's
Yeah,
it.
Mr.
Yeah,
B's.
he's even got this.
Zurich Classic.
Look at that advertising right there too.
I'm repping. Ken Sushi is really good though.
Yeah, Ken Sushi is a spot, like I guess a lot of the guys on tour all go there. It's like this little sushi spot in a strip mall
Okay.
in San Diego. We went there with the Full Swing Monitor guys back when, you know, we were out there at the tournament, and we sat there, and this guy comes out. It's Ken Sushi, owns the spot. He's
Right.
like this legendary sushi chef, and comes out, and he thinks that I'm Justin Thomas. He legit thought that I was him. So he like did this like sage thing around me, and he blessed me and said I was going to win a major. And everyone's like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, he blessed me, thanked me for coming in, took a picture with me. And then JT went on to win the PGA championship that year. So it's like, I mean, I have half that trophy, which is great. I haven't seen any of the residuals yet.
No, where's
you have to
you need
go
it in
there.
your office back there. You need the other half.
I know. I need more of the
Half of
cash.
the
I
PGA
think, but
championship
yeah.
trophy.
Yeah.
You should get half the PG. I need cash, he says.
JT's got
half
to
the-
just
half
cut
the
me
cash.
a check, dude. Just cut me
Yeah.
a check, bro.
Talk to me about Edmond, Oklahoma. What kind of
Yeah.
is this? Like what kind of town is this? Small town? Is this a suburb? What is this?
Yeah, it's a suburb of Oklahoma City. It's probably
Okay.
roughly 100,000 people. Big golf community. We have golf courses everywhere. And kind of, it's a little honey hole of golfers. We've got, you know, on the PGA Tour right now, we've got Taylor Moore, went to Edmond Memorial High School, and then Max O'Greevy went to Edmond Santa Fe High School. Then I went to Edmond North High School with Kevin Tway as well, and Robert Streb. We all went to the same high school. And those are the three main public high schools in Edmond. And, you know, then you've got just down the street, Taylor Gooch is from Midwest City, which is, you know, another suburb of Oklahoma City. But we all live in Edmond now and play at Oak Tree National. And we probably have 15 guys either on the PGA Tour or Corn Ferry Tour that are out here every day. You know, so outside of,
Damn.
you know, Scottsdale, Jupiter, and probably Dallas and Houston, this is probably, and Sea Island, this is probably the next, you know, biggest hub for professional golfers, which is shocking because our weather is terrible. But good place. 10-minute drive is always a 10-minute drive, and that's what I always like to say.
Huge.
I remember that Oak Tree National. I heard it's like impossible.
It's so hard.
Yeah, it was a couple of my buddies played last year in the whatever it is, the Pro Scratch, I think. And
Oh, yeah.
They played with Hovland. They said he like in 2 days out there didn't make a single birdie, and then like the next week won, you know, or made like 25 birdies on tour.
Yeah, so last year we had just put in Bermuda greens. So the greens were terrible last season, and you know, it was that first year out. And then this year they were so firm last year, but this year, him around July, August, they got to where they were just absolutely perfect. You know, firm and fast, and this golf course got significantly more difficult than it already was before we put in Bermuda greens. And it's, but it's a great test for us, and it's a shorter golf course, so we hit wedges a lot. So it's, teaches you how to score, but it's difficult. The greens are small targets. And, I think Victor says it's his favorite golf course in the world, for reference.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I heard it's a good hang. People kind of like rave about it. So we'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, you guys need to come out and play golf sometime.
Sneaky, yeah. We'll sneak our way out. Just a self-invite right there. No big deal.
Nice, well done.
It is a sneaky little golf hotbed there. You're right.
It
People probably wouldn't think of that, but people talk about Dallas. Obviously, everybody knows about Jupiter or Scottsdale or whatever. But yeah, good old Oklahoma. What a bunch of good golfers from there too.
Yeah,
Oklahoma State and national title. Just a bunch of guys winning on tour. So I imagine Oklahoma, I haven't spent a ton of time there. Is it windy, kind of like Texas? You guys learned to play in the wind pretty good too?
Yeah, we're probably a little windier than Texas on average. Our springs are brutal, but our fall this time of year right now is just absolutely perfect. This is our time right now. And but then it gets really cold. But it's weird. It's a place where I say you can play 11 months of the year, probably. Just hit or miss. We'll have a snow day, and then 2 days later it's 65 degrees. It's just, our 7-day forecasts are pretty funny looking sometimes.
I saw Frankie posting some fall golf pictures from Long Island the other day on his Instagram.
Yeah, yesterday it was windy as shit. It was so hard. It's like, I don't know. I just don't know how to play in the wind. Obviously, you guys have like some sort of system for it, but like I don't know how you gauge how much a ball is going to move when it goes up in the air like that. Like it's hard enough to gauge getting this ball to go onto a green from 160 yards. Now I have to figure out, is the wind going to push it a certain amount of yards left to right based off the miles per hour that it's blowing, and like which direction is it blowing? Do you have a set system for like how hard a wind gust is, and then it's going to move a certain amount? How are you supposed to gauge that?
I think there's probably guys that do have systems. Like I know guys that have they know exactly like a 10-mile-an-hour wind will affect a ball, a 7-iron this much, it'll come up this much shorter.
Wow.
But I think I've just done it my whole life, so it's just kind of a feel thing for me. And but then you also change ball flight so much out there when it's windy, so it's impossible to gauge. Come up with a system. Because if it's into the wind, I'm bringing the flight down 50 feet. It's there's no set system I feel like that you can create, but some people do it, I'm sure.
That's something I just don't have. I'm like, my ball flight, no matter if it's completely calm or 100-mile-per-hour wind, the ball flight is the ball flight. So it's just got to deal with whatever I do here.
It's so like for us, when you do try it and you fail, the result is catastrophic. When you're trying to do some clever little thing. And it was like, I remember we were in Florida last week and it was windy as shit. And we were doing this live stream and I had like 178 and I hit the best 5-iron of my life back of my stance. I actually pulled it off. It was unreal. And then the very next day, I had a very into the wind similar. It was like 105. And we were trying to gauge what it was playing. And, I hit my 9-iron, 140 or something. And I hit this 9-iron that I tried to hit the back of my stance. And I ballooned it. And it came up 25 yards short in the middle of this creek. And I was like, that 9-iron went 80 yards, like 80 yards.
Have you guys been out to Bandon Dunes before?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So I played a USAM out there. And it was like the most lopsided USAM of all time. Like in my wave, there only 5 guys made match play. So there was 59 guys from one wave made match play. And I missed by 1. I was playing fantastic. Like I played so good to miss by 1. And the first round we're on Bandon Dunes. We have Bandon Dunes and Bandon Trails. And I think it's hole 16 is a par 3. No, it's 15. I think it's the par 3. 16 comes back. And I had a 4-iron on 15. It was 152 yards. 4-iron straight to the teeth. Next hole is a 370-yard par 4, and I hit 3-iron over the green. Like it just, complete, absolute just guesswork out there. But I went birdie. I remember on those 2 holes.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Attaboy. That's I forgot that you played in that AM. That was when the Argentinian kid, right? He ended up getting DQ'd because of his caddy.
Tested the surface with the sand. Yeah.
We had that guy on the show, the caddy, right?
I think we had the player on the show. I don't know if we had the caddy. I think we had them, and he was super nice about it. Yeah, I remember he handled it. I can't remember his name, but he was great. Really nice dude.
Yeah, but, I can't remember who that was, but I do remember the story.
Yeah, that was wild. That's cool. You played in that because that is like Bandon's such a resort right? It's a golf destination for like your recreational golfer. And then that was like their first real big championship there. How do you feel like it held up? Because I go there quite a bit. I'm very lucky. It's awesome.
I thought it was awesome, and it was difficult. Obviously, it has to have wind. You know, it's one of those places. If it doesn't have wind, guys would probably shoot 0. But you know, it felt like we were in Scotland. Like it was unreal. And but you could see how it's just an electric guys trip. You know, all the bars around the clubhouse and the, you know, cigar rooms and all that stuff. It seems like a sweet place to go to on a guys trip, but it's impossible to get to. You know, I remember playing amateur golf. We flew. I don't even remember where we flew into, and it was like a 4.5-hour drive from there, and it was, you know, pretty long travel day.
Yeah.
No, it's a grind. Shout out to the Loop Travel. I mean, they try to, like, those guys are so awesome, but they basically lean into what you just said, where it's like you could fly into Eugene or something, and it's 2.5 or 3 hours, and it can really just suck. But these guys do a good job of, like, they made this awesome like van, and they've got cool leather captain seats. You can have some drinks on it, but no matter how you shake it down, it's not easy to get to. It's just not easy to get to.
I remember that too. That was the COVID year. So whenever we, like, you know, we have this long travel day, the first thing we have to do is go to the golf course, get a swab straight up our nose, you know, and then go back to the hotel, wait for test results to come in. Then we can start practicing.
Crazy.
Jesus, that is brutal.
That's such a crazy time.
That was so crazy.
I remember going to Islander playoff games, having to roll my nose out of the window, and they'd stick a freaking needle up to my brain to see if I could go cheer on the New York Islanders. I'd be like gagging in my car, like crying. You're tearing up. It affects the rest of your day. I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah, in college, we were getting tested. So we got tested once a week, and then before we traveled and after we traveled. So there was weeks that we'd, you know, have a tournament that we'd leave on Wednesday, come back Friday night. So we'd test, you know, Monday morning before we left. We'd test Friday evening when we landed, and we'd test Saturday for our weekly test. So we'd have 3 tests in 1 week. It was like, come on, guys, one's sufficient, isn't it? I mean,
nose is sore.
Yeah,
you got sore nostrils.
Yeah, I can't smell anything anymore. I'm just kidding.
How about John Rahm lost a PGA Tour event because he tested? I mean,
I saw that
popped
clip
up
today.
on my feed today. Yes,
I
saw the same
today.
one.
Yeah.
And you forget how crazy that is. It's the Memorial. He's up by 6 strokes going into Sunday, and they're like, "You're out of here." And it's like, wow,
wow. No symptoms. He was fine, and they were like, "Nope, you're out of here."
That was an
Who ended up winning that
time.
tournament?
I think Patrick Cantlay.
You're right.
Yeah,
Cantlay won it.
Mm-hmm.
This guy loves golf. He knows his shit.
Loves golf.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
What am I holding right here, Trent?
Those look like 1 bars.
Oh, and this looks like deliciousness, I bet, too, doesn't it?
They're so good. 3 grams of sugar. I love the peanut butter ones. The cookies and cream one, also good. Yeah, you can't believe when you're eating one, you're like, this is only 3 grams of sugar. That's unbelievable. And it fills you up, kind of gets you from meal to meal. I can't recommend these things enough. If you're going to the grocery store, you probably walk by them. Keep your eyes open. They've got that beautiful blue and orange packaging. If you see it, grab it, try it. I guarantee you'll love it.
Yeah, all protein bars generally taste the exact same, identical. Everybody knows that. Only one bars, and it's these ones, which are the 1 protein bars, actually are delicious and are actually cookies and cream, Reese's deliciousness. They got 18 grams of protein. Great. We love protein. Very good for you. It's the building blocks of life. You got to have the protein. And only 3 grams of sugar. So again, these things are delicious. They got the good stuff in there. And they are, they're branded with some of the best stuff you've ever had in your entire life. And they're really good because they are. So go try them out. Trust me. We've been putting them in a lot of our videos. I eat these around the house all the time. They're such a good snack. They're perfect for the golf course, perfect for the afternoon, perfect for any time, really. Try the new 1 Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers Protein Bar and try the 1 Hershey's Cookie and Cream Bar. You're going to love them. Try these bad boys out. They're fantastic. Last year, I believe, was your first Masters appearance.
Right.
Talked about it a little bit earlier. You missed the cut. What'd you learn from last year, and how are we going to go in and be better this year?
Yeah, it was, that was one of those weeks this year. Like, I was hitting it so good leading up to that week, and then like 3 days before I left, I like forgot how to hit a golf ball. It was it was just, so I was and that's just a high stress week. You get there on Monday and it's full crowd. It's like I'm trying to figure shit out, and I'm afraid of hitting somebody. And, I'd never figured it out. And I remember sitting there on Sunday. I shot a zillion, Monday, Tuesday, and I almost made the cut. Like I was like watching scores, like in all honesty, I was like, I really I don't want to go do this again the next 2 days. Like I can't hit a golf ball, and it was sneaking down to like, because I played in the morning on Friday, and it was sneaking down. It looked like I was gonna make the cut, and I was like, please don't, because I will shoot 82 tomorrow, like and so this year, and it's just it's so different than all the other weeks we play. We have the same guy makes all of our yardage books throughout the season. And, I could play course blind and use my yardage book. Like I know them so well, they're so detailed. And then you get to Augusta and it's like, you got a blank sheet of paper, basically, your yardage book. And, it's definitely probably the most, course where, prior knowledge is huge. And since I won not late in the season, but, only 3 weeks before the Masters, 4 weeks before the Masters, whatever it was, I didn't really have a chance to go out and go do early practice rounds and stuff like that and really go get to know the golf course. So, this year with having, a long time, I plan to go and play as many times as they'll let me and take my dad out. We'll go play, stuff like that.
Unbelievable.
And go, have good feelings with it. But, that's probably the one course that I've missed the cut at and said that, and I didn't say the golf course sucked,
Yeah.
True. Can't do that.
It is.
Do that.
I forget that at how difficult Augusta played this year, and I was just looking. I was like, I think only 8 guys were under par. I saw only 2 guys. It was Ludwig and Scotty were better than 4 under. That's insane at the Masters.
Yeah, on 18 on Friday, it is blowing a million downwind, and I've got I'm in the left rough next to the bunker, and I've got this jumper lie, and I remember looking at stuff like, what do we hit? It's blowing 50. It's downwind, and I actually had a great shot, and I thought it was going to turn out great, and it just barely snuck on top of the ridge. Pins on the bottom, and this whole green is covered in sand because the bunker is, so it's rolling a 20, and then it's blowing 50 into the wind, and I'm like, and I ended up just hitting a putt, leaving it like a foot and a half short, and I didn't want to put a mark on it because I was just, get it over with. I made the putt, but I was sitting there like, man, I probably should have put a mark on that. It was nuts. I couldn't imagine. That was some of the hardest golf I've ever played because that golf course is, so, you got to hit it on a dime most of the time. And it's
the sand was coming out so bad that like Tiger was turning around and he all the guys, they didn't know what to do.
Oh, yeah.
It
felt like it was snowing on the 18th green whenever I was on that green.
That's crazy. And it was so firm, right? Like it hadn't rained in weeks there.
It got baked out from that wind too. Yeah, it was so difficult.
And then you just can't hit the golf ball in your own mind. You're out there like, all right, sweet.
I couldn't hit the club face. I had the snipe hooks and the blocks. Like it was a combination of everything bad. I was like chunking wedges. Like I remember on hole 7, I was in the middle of the fairway when I chunked it short of the bunker. So I was like, are you kidding? It was so bad.
Praying, begging to not make the cut at Augusta National.
I was like the one guy ever. it was a weird situation to be in. But I remember sitting there. I was on my 3rd beer, and I was like, and it was slipping. And I was like, I'm gonna shoot 90 tomorrow.
You're like, you go over there to like Ridley. You're like, you guys cannot let me go back out there this weekend. Like, you don't understand.
You don't get it. Hurt. So yeah, I know
you guys care about your reputation out here. Like, I'm gonna embarrass everyone.
Everyone. Yes.
That's great. Well, we're going to be better this year. We're going to
go
in ready to
Exactly.
rock. Yeah. Unreal, Austin. Well, 2 wins this year, man. That is a hell of a year. 25 years old. You got the cool neon sign. Everything's coming up. We're going to play sick at Augusta in the spring. So yeah, I like it. It's good vibes, good trajectory, and yeah, you're a fun dude on the show. So we got to make sure we get you on more often because this was a blast.
Yeah, that was a good time. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yep, thanks for making time.
Thanks for doing it.
Yeah. Congratulations, and we'll be in touch. We'll see you out on tour, but keep up the good work. Enjoy the off season, and congrats.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. It was fun.
I'll see you in Nuketown.
Yes, sir. Yeah.